Okay, so if for any reason you don't even want to edit any of these pages, maybe it doesn't meet your taste or is not something you feel you can work with, you can actually create your own page from scratch. So let me show you how you do that. You come back to your back end. That is, if you are sure you are not interested in editing this, maybe it cannot satisfy the purpose for which you want to use it. Let me just show you how you can create your own page from scratch. You come back to pages. Under pages, you just click on add new. Okay, so when you click on add new, you give your page a title. Okay, then you have an option to either show your page title or not. That is not necessary, so I will just leave it. If you set it on, it's going to show the page title, but I don't want the page title to show, so I will just set that off. Then you have the sidebar position. Either if you want, this is the sidebar, this is your sidebar. Okay, so if you don't want a sidebar for that particular page that you are creating, you make use of the no sidebar option. If you want your sidebar on the left, you use the left. If you want it on the right, you choose the right sidebar option. So it depends on what you want to achieve. I will choose right sidebar, and then I'll publish this page. So it says, are you ready to publish? Double check your settings before publishing. I'll just go ahead and publish. Okay, so you have your page address. This is a link for your page address, so you can view page, or you just copy the link and paste in another browser. Now if you look here, you have choose backend or front end or editor. So I will just choose, if I choose this, okay, so this is what I actually have at my back end here for the new page I just created. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on this front end editor. Okay, so can you see this is my sidebar? Okay, this is my sidebar, and then this is what my page is actually looking like now. So I can start adding elements to the page to create whatever it is I want to create with it. For instance, I'll start by adding a container. You just click on add elements. Okay, place content inside this row, so I'll just click on add row. Now if I have chosen the no sidebar option, I won't be having this sidebar here, so I'll just have a normal page without a sidebar. Okay, so I've added this. From here I can choose the number of columns I want to have. I'll just click here, and let's assume I want to have maybe just 2 columns. You can see different columns here, 3, 4, and etc. If I choose the 2 columns and update, okay, so this is my first column. I can close this from here. This is my first column, this is the second column. So I can add elements to this particular column. Let's say I want to add a text box. That will just enable me to type text. Okay, so I can just type this section comprises of a training video tutorials. We have video tutorials for the different courses that we offer. Okay, and then I'll just do save and close. Okay, can you see that? That's for my text box. I can decide to also add something to this column, maybe an image. So I will just scroll down and look for an element that talks about image here. Like I saw something like a single image earlier on. Okay, so I can use this. So look for an image from the media library, and you just click on it and make use of it. Now if you have your own image on your system that you actually want to bring in, you make use of this upload file option, select file, and then you browse to wherever you have that image on your system. Let me see if there is a random image I can use here. You just go to wherever you have that image on your system, you click on it, and then you bring it in. Maybe this image, for instance, open. Okay, click on set image. Okay, then image size, you can determine how you want your image to show here. You have thumbnail, medium, large, and then if you can also just enter the dimension for your image. So depending on what you want to achieve with your image, you just enter your dimension following the example they have written here. If it's 200 by 100, you just do 200 by 100, 300 by 200, you just write it there, and then set an alignment for your image. The moment you do save changes and you close, okay, so this is my image. Okay, so that's what my image looks like, and I can edit it. It's showing like a thumbnail, so let me just adjust it a little bit. I'll just change okay, so I'll just change the setting from thumbnail. Let me use medium and do save changes, close. Okay, that'll probably take effect by the time I refresh the page, so I'll just leave that for now. Then if I need to add another content or element again, just click on add element. Always start by adding this, then you determine the number of rows and columns you want. Okay, determine the number of rows and columns you want, then you can now add any of these different elements inside the row or content that you have added. So these are different. You can just go and see how it works, but I would advise that you go through the pages. Once you mouse over, you see the name of the element that was used on each page, see how it was used, and then you can now use that idea to also create your own page. So you can add as many features as you want to your page, and you are good to go. This is your text block. You can do your normal text editing here as well. You can do your bold. Okay, so you can bold, italics, you can make use of all these functions, alignments, and all that. Then if you want to convert a particular text to a link, you just highlight the text and then click on insert stroke edit link, paste your URL here, apply, and you are good to go. So that's just basically how you work with pages when you are designing your website. So you can just play around. Once you are done with all this, just do an update, and once your update is successful, you have your page created with the contents whichever way you want it to appear there. So I would advise you to study the contents on most of those demo pages, see the things that were used, the arrangements, delete the ones that you don't need, and then you'll be able to work effectively with your pages.